Practicing rhythmic precision is fundamental, but in addition to that, it's also very important to stay connected to a more global feeling of the rhythm, a more global feeling of the Compás. That's why we also need to develop an overview of the Compás, or an overfeel of the Compás. The thing is that there is no one and only way to feel a Compás, to feel a rhythmic cycle. So let's see how it works and how we can integrate this into our practice. Hi, this is Guillermo Guillen for FlamencoMAPS. Welcome to my channel. Whether you dance flamenco, you play guitar, you play palmas, you play cajon, you sing, or you just love it and you want to understand how it works, it is very useful to visualize rhythm in different layers, different levels. In the 4 previous episodes of this series, I explained the main level of rhythm, the level of the beats, and then we went deeper into the sub-level, the subdivisions level, in order to practice rhythmic precision. But now, on the contrary, we'll take a step back in order to have an overview of the Compás. We enter a more global level that I call the ground level. And it's very important to understand, to practice, and to use, because connected to the other levels, it is what makes you groove, swing, have soniquete. These are very hard concepts to define in words, and maybe we'll try one day. But in any case, in general, when something grooves, swings, has soniquete, we feel it very clearly, physically. It sounds good, it feels good, it drives us, it makes us want to move, to clap, to dance. And when what we dance, play, or sing doesn't groove, very often it's because we have trouble in connecting the different layers and make them breathe and live together synchronized. While there is still magic and mystery in the soniquete, luckily there are also things we need to understand. You know what I always say, right? Understanding, practicing, feeling all feed into each other. Imagine you are a group of 3 people walking side by side and just chatting. You have long legs and you take very long steps. Your friend has shorter legs and takes shorter steps. And the third one with even shorter legs and shorter steps. If you want to walk together, to share the moment, to communicate, to talk, you all have to go at the same speed. But you have to find your own pace with your own legs and your own steps, and at the same time synchronize with the group. There is some flexibility, but if one of you walks too fast or too slow, then communication becomes difficult. The ground level is in a way the level that unifies all that, that makes everyone feel the Compás in the same overall way. Why ground level? Because usually we walk on the ground. This rhythmic layer is directly physically linked to the ground. When you listen to music, you spontaneously physically connect to a pulse that makes you want to tap your feet, to snap your finger, to shake your head, to dance at a certain pace. But the rhythmic element you spontaneously connect with is not necessarily the main level of the beats. It can be another pulse at another level because it feels more directly connected to a simple intuitive sensation. And very often it's a slower, more grounded pulse than the real beats. Let's take a very clear example in a simple 4 beats cycle, like what we use for tangos. Let's set up El Tito at 160 BPM. And we are just going to walk because it makes things very clear. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So if you take a step on every beat, you'll walk quite fast, right? As when you are late. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And you can run out of breath quite quickly. And in general, your mind is also restless. But now if you take longer steps every 2 beats, 1, 2, 1, 2, then everything becomes more relaxed. You have time to breathe, you have time to look at the landscape, you have time to talk with people. So by stepping every alternate beat, you create a parallel pulse that covers the same distance, the same 4 beats, but that beats with a frequency that is half time. If the real main pulse of the beats with El Tito is 160, this new pulse is 80 BPM. The cycle is the same, the speed at which the music unfolds, the tempo is the same, but our physical sensation of the cycle is very different. And being different, sometimes it's much more adapted to what we are doing, playing, dancing, singing. When we play palmas, we sing, or we play guitar, we are always advised to mark the compass with our foot, and it's a very good thing. In flamenco, when the guitarist plays, when the singer sings, when the palmeros palm, they usually don't mark all the beats with their foot. First, because it would be very tiring, and also, and above all, because it wouldn't breathe. And music needs time and space to breathe. So people usually mark the ground level with their foot, and it's a great way to stay connected to the global compass. And the dancers, when they are not doing footwork, but only what we call marcajes, marking the compass, they also mark this ground level. The most logical, natural way is to mark the accents of the compass, the strong beats, or a term that I prefer, the heavy beats, those that bring us directly to the ground. For tango, we usually mark only 1 and 3 because the heavy beats of the 4-beat cycle are 1 and 3. When we feel the bulería in medio compasses, we have basically two main options that I explain in detail in this exercise. The accents of the Compás de Solea are on beats 3, 6, 8, 10, and 12, and this is where we'll mark our foot. We'll talk about this in detail in different episodes for the different compasses. However, everyone is free to feel and mark the music as they want, as long as it works for them. There are always several ways to feel and mark these ground levels. There are no strict rules. It's really a matter of feeling, of physical sensation. There are no right or wrong ways. It also depends on the musical moment, on what you want, the energy you want to connect with, the tension you want to create. This also causes a lot of confusion when counting the compasses, but we'll talk about that another day. The different sensations we can connect to the same compass depend on several things. The type of compass, how many beats per cycle, the speed, the tempo, the way the music is interpreted, the phrasing. Also, the musical culture in which we grow up can influence the way we perceive the music, how each of us feels the music, how each of us understands the music. And it also depends on the moment, because you can listen to the same thing at different times of your day or even of your life, and it will induce different rhythmic sensations. This is a very broad topic, and it's very interesting. I can't go into details right now because it would take hours. Personally, when I play, I change the way I use my foot all the time, depending on what is happening. And even sometimes I don't use my foot at all, and it doesn't mean that I don't have any internal feeling. It just means that I don't need to express it at that moment. We are free. What you can try right now is to practice with El Tito, marking different things, marking the beats and then marking the ground level in different ways. And you'll see how it changes everything. Let's take a very simple phrase for tango in 4 beats. I'll sing the phrase very slow. It starts on 1 and it goes like this. Taca, 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 ta, taca, 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 tum, 2, 3, 4. Taca, 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 ta, taca, 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 tum, 2, 3, 4. Let's set up El Tito in 4 beats at 120 BPM. Not too fast. 1, 2, 3, 4. Taca, 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 ta, taca, 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 tum. Taca, 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 ta, taca, 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 tum. Taca, 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 ta, taca, 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 tum. El Tito was marking all the beats, but now we'll ask him to mark only the 1 and 3. So half time, instead of 120 BPM, 60 BPM. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Taca, 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 ta, taca, 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 tum. Taca, taka 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 ta, taka 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 tum. Taka 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 ta, taka 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 tum. Taka 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 ta, taka 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 tum. You see how different it feels because now there is much more space and our phrase is the same, but the interaction with the 1 and the 3 feels very different. One more time. 1, 2, 3, taka 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 ta, taka 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 tum. Taka 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 ta, taka 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 tum. And now we can ask El Tito to mark only the 1 of the compass. So we go at 30 BPM. I don't even know if you go that slow, Tito. Oh yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Taka 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 ta, taka 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 tum. 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 It's much more difficult, right? Because we don't have all the intermediate references, the other beats. We must learn not to rush and not to slow down. Doing this, you realize that the rhythmic distances, like a cycle, is not just a succession of divisions, like beats or tikota, tikota, taka, taka, taka. It's also an open space, a smooth space. You can have just an open space between one and the next one, and you can slide or swim or fly through it. It's a very good way to get used to that open space and how we manage rhythm without any reference, how we manage silence. One more time, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Taka, 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 ta, taka, 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 tum. Taka, 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 ta, taka, 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 tum. Taka, 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 ta, taka, 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 tum. Taka, 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 ta. If we go back to our 3 walking friends, you understand now that we cover the same distance at the same speed, regardless of the size of our steps. For example, the first one walks at the pace of the ground level every 2 beats, the second one at the main level, stepping on every beat, and the third one is marking subdivisions. When we play palmas, we play guitar, we sing, we dance, we have to be all of them at the same time. By practicing this way, the foot marking the ground level, the palmas marking the beats, the main level, and singing the subdivisions, we do everything at the same time. And while practicing this way, try to focus on the different levels. While everything is running, put your mind alternatively in the foot, in the palmas, then in your singing, and then in pairs, like the foot with the palmas with the singing with the foot. And then everything together in a global way, the 3 friends walking together. Stay connected to everything all the time. I assure you that way you'll develop an amazing sense of rhythm. This will automatically give everything you do more meaning, more direction, more intention. And then you can play with intentions. Once you master this, you can really play with the flexibility of time. You can play or dance a little behind the beat, what we call laid back, and it's so interesting. Or on the contrary, you can play or dance a bit ahead of the beat. Once we get used to all this and we are able to feel the compass in a more global way, this is when grooves, when soniquete appears. This means you also need to develop your ability to listen, practicing active listening. You can just reproduce any kind of music and play palmas over it and mark your foot according to what you hear and what you feel. And try to figure out what you are doing, what are you marking, which level, which pulse, and why this one, and then try the other ones. And also do the exercises I explained before, but really listen to yourself. Listen to yourself as if you were listening to somebody else, as if you were in the audience listening to a music band. A great exercise for this is to record yourself doing the foot, the palmas, and singing rhythmic phrases, and then listen to yourself. You may be surprised because there is often a very big gap between what we think we are doing and what we are actually doing, between the intention and the result. Using the ground level opens up different musical spaces in front of us. It gives a breathable dimension to the compass. and many times it connects better with the overall sensation of the music. Here I'm just giving you ideas to practice in different ways, to experiment, to find new sensations, to help you take off a little and see the cycle from a little further, in a more global way, like the view from an airplane. And that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope it could help. If it helped, you can also help me by liking this video, subscribing to the channel, sharing it to the world, and also go and visit flamencomaps.com, where I explain my classes, my courses, and my way of teaching flamenco. I see you there. Till then, don't forget, learn flamenco, make it fun, make it different, make it your own, and play palmas.